the journey of many of you here. As I've moved over 8, maybe 10 countries during our tenure for 30 years, this journey is also the start of, or may I say, embarking on my professional career as an artist, but also to celebrate the culmination of Sanjay's and my diplomatic career. We started somewhere and we are finishing it here, but I thought before we finish, I want to touch on one core theme, which is about moving around and the communities that I have been a part of. A community that supported us, that made us who we are.
She's truly a multifaceted lady, an educator, mentor, and a talented artist. The snippets we saw earlier is a testimony to it. And she has deep-rooted connection towards human causes, environment protection, and above all, coming forward spontaneously to support any worthy causes drew my personal admiration towards her. It's my honor and privilege to welcome the First Lady of Indian Community in UAE, Mrs. Vandana Sudhir, for a tete-a-tete. Thank you, IBPC, for giving me a unique opportunity. Let me begin with my first question towards you. How would you rate your UAE stay in comparison to other postings by far?
Uma, thank you very much for bringing me on this platform, first of all. The UAE has been a cherry on the cake, really. It has been the highlight of our diplomatic journey, and I'm truly grateful for all the deep bonds and all the friendships that we forged here with the people and how we could connect with them while we stayed here.
What's the impact and the take you have on your husband has left on the Indian community in UAE?
We came here in 2021 towards the end of the year. COVID was waning.
Right.
And while the whole world had been quiet for a while, UAE was using this quiet time as an opportunity to grow,
right,
as an opportunity to build, as an opportunity to further its resolve in the vision of its leadership. The people were with the UAE in this endeavor. And while the UAE gave people the freedom to move around in a restricted environment and provided for everybody, it gave us a chance to learn from it. And I felt that with Expo 2020 around that corner, UAE just opened its world to every possibility that could grow it in all aspects, not just politically, not just economically, not just in any one area, but to prosper. And that was the vision. My husband is just part of the bigger idea as a diplomat, as a part of the Indian government, and as a messenger, where we were doing what we had to do. And he initiated the talks related to an agreement on economic activities here, the SEPA, to be clear about. But what he did was, I think, the way he worked, it was a time frame of just a few months,
right,
where SEPA was concluded, and that takeoff, where the first ever treaty between the UAE and any other country, that promoted making up of, or the frameworks of, I think now in 2020, up until 2024, there have been 15 SEPAs signed, and maybe more have come up. What happened was truly remarkable in the sense, the speed at which the action took place. I think all the forces came together and made it happen.
Right.
And if we were to say that it is the impact of one person, I think I would be overstating it. It's a collaborative effort. But I would attribute it to the vision of the leadership here, and also to the hard work and effort that the person being here can. So in a sense, after SEPA, there has been the BAPS temple.
Correct.
There have been other temples of learning that have come up. Now there's a hospital coming up. So one after another, there are things that have been happening. Not that they were not happening earlier, but what has happened is the effort, the speed, and the collaboration between people. So it's the connect that I would say, and I really admire about him, is the connect that he makes. The way he's a formidable person, the way he connects with people, he makes them feel heard, he makes them feel seen.
Absolutely.
He makes them feel valued.
Right.
So I think for me, as a partner, I've seen it firsthand. My children, my family has experienced it. And by the grace of God, by the grace of everybody around us, we've only been able to connect and forge these very significant associations at a professional level, and that have immensely helped us make the bonds. I think that's the impact that I'm talking about, of being able to connect and be able to take it forward with an action-oriented ideology. So that's Sanjay for me, as a human being, as a person, and even as a diplomat.
Yeah, very, very, it's an eye-opener, and I do agree, we have witnessed many historical moments during your tenure over here. Thank you for that. Can you share some memorable moments which during your stay in UAE to all of us, which stands out to you?
Honestly, Uma, there were many moments that I'll hold special in my heart. One of the things that I felt very grateful about was events and moments where I could see, I could feel people around me enjoying themselves, cherishing their own lives, and being able to reflect back on how it has been for them in their time in the UAE. Because all of these people are very special.
Right.
So there was a time when I was conducting a workshop for mature age people. They belong to a club here in Dubai, and I was hosting a workshop. It was more on the wellness side, but I kind of connected it to my art, which is something that allows people to feel good about what they've created. And the workshop was supposed to be for about 40 minutes. It lasted 3 hours, and at the end of the workshop also, there were tears, there was catharsis, and there was this feeling that they wanted to have more of such celebrations of togetherness, where healing came out as a natural process out of this whole idea. My idea was to give them a good time.
Right.
But how easy for me it was to connect with them and see their stories come alive in such a simple exercise that we did on their canvases. For me, that was one of the very personal highlights. And there have been moments like this where I felt very, very deeply grateful for the forces above and for how people take me. Another one was where, in fact, all these years on International Women's Day, I just wanted to give a little bit of myself and my time to the women in the local community. And I have women right next door. In the embassy, we have about 40 women. So each year, I saved the actual day of International Women's Day for these women who work day in and day out for the community, but have little time to think about themselves because it is either their home or their families, and they have their routines and work. So I felt very grateful that we worked together on these IWD days. We worked, we spent time together, we had wellness sessions, and many a times I organized everything we did was at home here for about a few hours that one day. It felt very, very gratifying to be a part of a community where I could give a little bit of myself to help them forget their worries for once. Whether it was through art, whether it was through experiments, research, easy conversations, and story times. There have been many intellectual and cultural exchanges with the local people here, for which I'm deeply grateful, because in ordinary work lives, we are unable to open up and share these things. But at a personal level, I felt deeply grateful that I could be a part of a community where we shared such joyful associations as part of the diplomatic spouses. In fact, there's an artwork here that I have dedicated to another group of people here. Remember on World Poetry Day, I think it's March 21st, we had a group of about 30 odd women sitting across a table and sharing their poetry. Some of them had written it themselves.
Wow.
Some of them had brought something that they took great pride in, talking about their countries, about the women of their countries, about heroism, and the rendition of it all wasn't important. The selection of the poem wasn't important. What was important was that we sat down and the outpouring of the related context in which those ideas and the seeds of those poems came to be was very heartfelt. And so for me, those moments of connect were very extremely enriching. And then there have been similar moments where I met and connected and understood and learnt from one-on-one relationships with a lot of people, and there are numerous of those just sitting around casually, and then you get to learn and get inspired. So that was for me very, very helpful. On a personal note, I felt that I made some very good friends here. I'm a part of a very close-knit art community where everybody not just enjoys being at art events, but also makes it a point to support each other.
That's important. Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, I can see that you're leaving a legacy, how giving time to people is so important and make a huge difference on the community. Thank you for that.
I hope so.
What message do you have for the Indian community over here, as well as for all the friends you've made in UAE?
I think that many of us miss the point that impermanence in our lives is not about just moving physically from one place to another.
Right.
I think transience or impermanence opens our doors to change and to opportunity alike. That's the one underlying thing, in fact, of my art exhibition also that I've recently showed in Abu Dhabi, where our journeys are constantly in motion. And very honestly, I have learned that along with change, there has to be a constant churning of our ideas, a constant learning. And the other thing I want to say is keep challenging yourself. Be open. Be open to maybe learn the local language. Be open to upskill.
Correct.
not just women but also men. Everybody should be able to have globalized environments in their workspace. Find the time to reach out to your community back home. Be conscious consumers here. To my friends in the UAE, all I want to say is that I'm really going to miss you all. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all the love. Thank you for your hospitality. And thank you for giving us such a good time. My family, my husband, we truly cherish our time here in the UAE. And we are very grateful to all of you for this.
Thank you, Vandana, for your time. And it has been absolute pleasure to learn more about your thoughts and experience and your messages for all of us. It's been a very interesting tat-a-tat for myself, which I'll cherish forever. Wish you both all the very best to you and the family for a beautiful future ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you.